And what is going on?
What's going on, guys?
What's good, y'all? I'm Mass.
And I'm Migs.
And we are Woof Logik. This is Woof's
Our
Web.
podcast.
And we're about to hit episode 90, my boy. We're like three episodes in.
Damn,
Well,
this shit flew by.
Yeah, bro. We're almost at that 100. I don't know what we should do for our 100. I think for sure before we hit that mark, we got to somehow get our boy Lalo up in here and Malik, because they're the only ones that haven't been on.
I know, huh?
Yeah. So hopefully we get these fools up on here before we hit that 100 episode mark. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to hit that. You know, doing anything up to like the 100th episode is pretty crazy, you know.
Yeah, that's 100 weeks.
Yeah, 100 weeks, 100 hours at least, you know. Sometimes we do go under, sometimes we go over. And so, you know, it balances a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been a dope weekend. We had our show over at Inland Groove's Rush. That shit was fucking wild. The crowd was hype as fuck.
Y'all were amazing. Fuck, I could like there was like a sea people. Obviously there was room in the backpack to move around, but like you couldn't tell from like the stage. Everyone's like just there, like packed like sardines.
Yeah. Everyone was all like, I feel like, oh no, never mind. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I saw people on shoulders, but I was like, nah, man, they would have hit their head on that.
Yeah.
Because even me, I was like debating getting on the table, but I was like, nah, my head's gonna hit these poles.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I would put my hand all the way up, I'll smack that shit. It was like a low ceiling type of venue.
Yeah, it's underground, like because it was like on like a basement kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like yeah, pretty much. I wonder, yeah, what is that fucking area, man? I always
I think
wonder.
it could be wrong. It may have been a gym at one point. I could be capping though, because I remember one time, the first time I went there with Topher, he took me, and then like there's like some like gym equipment upstairs, but like in like some other area.
Yeah, well, it's definitely interesting how that whole place works, because if you guys have gone to their other events, you've been to the other little venue, so I'm curious to see how the whole contractual thing works between, you know, stage to stage, and how they pretty much locked it in, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I feel, you know, if you guys come across music industry podcasts, you should definitely look into the people that aren't like actual DJs or artists, because you get to hear like a little bit of insight on, you know, whether it's booking or just, you know, putting a whole event together. It's a lot of shit a lot of people don't think about, like when it comes to production and you know, barricades and security and locking in venues and sound, alcohol, all that shit.
Yeah, because like it's a whole thing, man. Like just logistics have always been super like fascinating to me about like how things get put down.
Yeah. So if you guys ever get the chance, you know, maybe even throw an event. You know, back in my day, used to do that shit. Back in my day, I used to throw events, and so I kind of got a little bit of insight. But I know that for sure, like when it comes to the legit way of doing it, there's some things that I would have to learn along the road. But shout out In the Groove, shout out Fever as well. Yeah, we did go over it, but shout out those guys. They keep just rising up. I wouldn't doubt they put up festivals soon.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, so look out for that shit. I know for sure that's some of their goals, and they're probably one of the, if not the biggest thing going out right now in LA as far as underground scene. But how did you feel the show went? Like everything was good?
I feel it was great, apart from my goof ups. One in particular, mind you, like there's a lot of people behind us, and I think I've noticed that when there's just a lot of moving parts behind me, I get distracted very easily. Like things just are happening a lot. Like when I notice when like there's like nobody behind us, like it goes like pretty smoothly for me. But as soon as I'm like a dog, I'm like, what was happening? What's happening? This good? Y'all good? And now like all our peoples are behind us, like all of them, like all our friends were literally behind us. So obviously, you know, like I'm vibing with them, having a good time. And I forget which song we're playing, but I forgot it was on my side. And obviously, like we have cue points and you see on the screen it'll be A, B, C, and D. So I see I see C coming up because I go back quick, and so I'm like, oh shit! So I'm about to hit my fucking cue point. I didn't realize it was still on my side, so I hit pause on my own side.
Yeah, some shit like that will always fucking happen. I kept swinging my hand back, and like it was smack someone. Whoever the fuck was like up and close to my ass, I kept smacking their leg or something.
Yeah, it shows. I mean, but apart from that, man, like I think it went great. Like it was crazy, bro. Like you know that Rage Tech song from Psycho Boys Club.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I didn't tell you to play it, but in my head I was like, damn, you should. And then when I seen that roll up, I was like, damn, this shit's like fire. And then it turned to one like people fucking went crazy over that song.
Yeah, man. I feel, when we get the hour and a half sets, that's when I get to dig a little deeper and shit,
Yeah.
go back into older songs because I know like that song must have come out like what 2000, 2001. Did it even come out officially?
No, they never put that song out.
Yeah, it was just it was the demos back in the day or
Yeah.
promos from when Cycle Boys was still a thing, and so like I said, they sent us like a whole folder full of their unreleased shit, like when they first started off.
I ain't gonna lie though, when they've sent it to us, because like I think they put it on Twitter, like, yo, producer homies, like, yo, who wants this like like Psycho Boys like demo pack, and then they actually sent it to us. I'm like, fuck yeah, we're part of this shit.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So unfortunately, they're not together anymore. But back when they were like starting off and shit, man, it was like a whole new direction. I feel they for sure were ahead of the whole techno kickoff thing.
Yeah.
They're one of the first to get to it as far as like the new trend, and I think a lot of people that they probably don't even know who they are. So like to be able to go back that deep and like I mentioned, I think recently we got a lot of newer ravers that probably started in like 2001, 2002, even 2003. And so they never would even heard of all these old songs. So I like to bring them back a lot.
Yeah, no, they fucking love that. We got played. We were playing so many bangers that like there were so many points in the set where I was like I couldn't even point out a specific part. Like, damn, that was my favorite part. Like, there were just parts where people were going crazy, and
Yeah.
like the energy was like fire, man. Like I don't think I've ever experienced a show like that. Well, of course we of course we have, but this one's been more favorable as of late.
This was for sure the most intimate setting as far
Yeah.
as like everyone crammed in, because the other, like, I feel like we've hit a point where we're just hitting like nothing but huge ass shows.
Mhm.
And so now this was like when it comes to the IE, there's not really too many massive venues you could book like that, because they're all under Insomniac's contracts, and then you got just theaters,
Yeah.
and there's not too many theaters out here that are affordable if you're starting up or like on the rise. And so yeah, so you gotta pretty much work with what you got out here. And this venue, it reminds me of like the underground over there where we're at in Santa Ana, by the Yoast. And
man, good old days.
yeah, and yeah, so as far as experiencing that true underground feel, this was like I think one of our first, because Fever, it's like more warehouse, and those are dope as fuck, but it kind of resembles like a indoor like festival type vibe. And then over here it's just like it was like straight up just I dead ass felt like we were at a techno scene type of thing,
I can't wait to see like the videos everyone's like recorded. Shout out Sonny, man. Like shout out your boy, bro. We didn't even tell you that how he had to record us, but he did. And shout out to you, man. You were fucking great all night just recording us. And it's like the camcorder style with Lee. And I'm like, bro, I can't wait to see how those videos turn.
Yeah, so we do have them. We do have the folders of all the videos. I just gotta find the time to go through them all. But we'll for sure get you guys some content out of those, out of the clips soon. And then shout out our boy Jason too for shooting us. I think he even mentioned he didn't know when to stop recording because it was just bangers and shit.
Hey, shout out him. Like at one point, like they were passing shots to Grand Malo, and he's like, right here too. I was like, fuck it. And so it'd be like we're playing mid set, and this motherfucker's taking a shot at the Grand Malo.
Hell yeah, we love it, man. We don't ever want anyone to feel like they gotta be all professional around us, Of course, you want to have a balance. You don't want to look stupid and shit, but I want you guys to be yourselves, and the more like friendlier we all feel together, the more like opening it is and shit, comfortable. But yeah, it was a dope time. Thank you, Eddie and the Inland Groove team over there. Appreciate the opportunity.
Real.
And we'll be sure to bring you guys another set soon. And for those of you guys that missed the show, we got more shows coming. Just keep an eye out.
Yeah.
And then music as well, man. March, I don't think there's a date yet, but we'll just go ahead and say this week though, or not this week, this month. It should be maybe in the next 2 weeks, I would say. I'll give you guys that. A big label release too. So pretty excited for new music, new original music. This will be our first original of the year. And I mean, bro, I can't wait to starting off our sets with the Damien collab. I feel is like that shit's for sure the tone setter because like the back to back events, you know, that shit just fucking amps up the crowd. And you know, one thing that I struggle with, you know, when you go to when we would go to shows and watch DJs live, you know, I feel it takes them. I feel, you know, you got to start off with a banger and then you go into like something that's more like not necessarily. There's two routes. You can go banger and then chill to kind of like make a statement and then, you know, kind of, you know, collect the crowd a little bit, you know, have everyone be like, oh shit, they're here. Or you can just go boom, 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 back to back fucking bangers and just have no chill until maybe like 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what kind of, you know, I've experienced both entryways of sets, and I like them both. But the one thing that we've always had to deal with because we just like transition fast is you start a song, go to the next, start a song, go to the next, and I feel that because we transition so fast, it doesn't really give me time to kind of like settle in, you know, until the first big breakdown that's like long, like a 30-40 second long breakdown. So with this Damien collab, it's a track with 3 drops and they're all like super different but like still are cohesive and they blend well. And because they're all 3, you know, drops that I would want to play live, I can let that shit, I'll just ride the whole way. But it's also not it's not a track to where there's like a fucking 3-minute breakdown in between drops, you know.
It's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, because 3-track drops are rare to come across, and especially they're rare to come across that are like under like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
So this one's only like I think 4 or 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's very to the point. Like each drop has its own little flavor because it's all like complete. They're not complete. I mean, they're all like techno-ish, but they have like their own little sauce to them.
Yeah, so I really love starting with that song because it not only does it get all 3 drops in and they're all fucking fire.
Yeah.
It gives me time to enjoy like each drop and like actually like interact with the crowd as far as like, you know, body language or just hyping them up and shit like that. And yeah, I love starting off with that song. I think that's gonna be a staple for this coming year. I think it's a good starting point. Yeah. And it's also easy to mix into, like if we're doing like an underground thing and, you know, the DJ before us is playing like a, you know, techno related song, and, you know, when it comes to the underground scene, you like to transition with their music. And because if you stop the music, it like, you know, kind of duds down the energy, which to some people it is a big deal, some people it's not really. But for the underground scene, you know, it's not like a festival where you have to have like gaps in between. You know, it's just everyone just smoothly transitions into each other. But yeah, it was dope as fuck. So I'm excited for what this year has to come. You know, stay tuned, guys. You know, bunch of dope ass shit. And then, you know, we also dropped a kickball video with Bueno and IE and Friends. And that video we recorded like what, August maybe last year?
We barely
August or September.
We had just come back from Chicago.
So it was like August or September, I think. Yeah, but we recorded that one, and you know, it was a lot of hiccups because it was our first time, you know, recording with little fucking
the lavs.
Yeah, those mics. And, you know, I don't know what it is, but for some reason on like the iPhone, on the voice memos, it sounds good on there, but for some reason it wasn't catching the audio, like everyone's audio. I don't know. There's a lot of shit we had to figure out and learn at that time. It was like our first time, you know, owning that fucking equipment.
Yeah.
But now we kind of got it all figured out. But we're definitely wanting to get that video out to you guys because it was funny as fuck, man. If you guys haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. I would spoil it right now, but definitely want to get those views up, guys. So go ahead and
I also, man, we should have clearly have some better rules set out. Man, I was watching like, damn, we were all over the place.
We were definitely all over the place, but one thing's for sure is we're fucking mollywopping these fools.
We were until we had to nerf ourselves, and then this shit just went down.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. I definitely we even talked about over there. We should run it back, but like without cameras or whatever, just for fun. Because man, that shit brings out the kid in you. You know,
it does.
And it's like, especially when everyone fucks with each other, you know, it's a dope energy. Because sometimes when you be at PE or recess, you got one fool that takes it too damn serious. They're all crying.
Dreams.
You know that, and then you got people that just suck. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what kind of makes it fun. If you have like balance of people that suck or are like elite as fuck.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I think maybe we should even try like other sports. You know, maybe like basketball or flag football. I always want to do tackle football, but I'm pretty scared now. Like I feel the recovery time won't be.
Yeah, I know
You
we're
know.
too old for that. But it'd be funny because it's just like a lot of when you're growing up. I don't want to say you're out of shape, but things take a lot longer to heal, and so we're like more cautious about what we do now.
Yeah, exactly. And even with running or like fucking twisting your ankle, man, you'll be out for a good week. What was I gonna say? But yeah, it's been a dope. I feel eventful couple weeks, man. I feel we've just been on the go with
Yeah,
releasing shit, and it's dope to see. Dope as fuck, man. This is what you should be doing if you're like in the content creating space. Pumping out content, pumping out videos. We got gigs like pretty consistently. It feels like.
which is awesome.
Yeah, which
It's kind of like surreal because I'm like, damn, like people are like booking us like very frequently, and there's some that like think they weren't for sure, but like they're even the fact they're even considering us.
Yeah, man, it's best definitely like behind the scenes. We get hit up a lot, but for one reason or another, it just doesn't fall through. And a lot of time they come around though, so it happens eventually. It's just like there's so many artists nowadays that it's hard to like get through everyone. It seems.
Yeah.
But definitely excited. Hopefully, we hit out of states this year. If you guys are watching and you're from out of state, be sure to hit up your promoters, the people that throw events around your city. Hit them up, be like, hey man, book these fucking Mexican guys from fucking California.
We got our papers.
Yeah, we got our papers. We got a real California ID, which is crazy because that's gonna go into effect this year. The real
crazy.
ID thing.
It's crazy because like I went to see that fool with Martin and Meanie at the Improv on Friday, and Andrea was like, "Do you have your real ID?" I was like, "I mean, like, no." She was asking me about applying. She was like, "I don't know. I've had this shit for like almost 2 years now, so I just didn't know that was a thing."
Yeah, you got to get it in May. Well, by May, the real ID stamp.
Yeah,
That's what you have, right? Or no?
yeah. The little bear in the corner.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, go ahead and get that shit before May because otherwise you won't be able to fly even in the States. That's gonna go into effect. They actually pushed that shit back from like 2023 or 4 last year, one of the 2 past years. Because that's the reason why I got it already. Because I was like, fuck, I'm trying to fly. So
Yeah.
but yeah, there seems like they're gonna put more rules in these airports and shit, which I don't know if it's due to Trump or nah, because they had this plan before.
Yeah, this has been in effect before him, but it just goes to show like motherfuckers y'all need to get on this shit because now that he's in there, like who knows what's gonna happen when you don't.
For real. Like he's saying something about like there's gonna be big news tomorrow, which if you guys are watching today, which is a Tuesday, that means today is supposed to be big news from Trump or whatever. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. He's been saying some pretty crazy shit, like he wants a death penalty on people and shit.
Yeah, I was like,
that sell drugs.
Yeah, I'm like that's crazy. He's doing the gold card, which is a green card you can buy, but you have to pay $5 million for it. Which I'm
Yeah,
like, this
he's
is
pretty
crazy.
He's pretty much I'm giving you guys an opportunity. Like I'm not completely blocking you guys out.
Okay, so just like only like drug cartel members and like filthy ass millionaires from people can like buy this shit.
Yeah, pretty much he wants only like successful businessmen.
That's crazy.
So to get their green cards and shit.
I ain't gonna lie though, I'm kind of fucking with this. I don't know if you've seen that shit where he's like, if that shit used to happen with that Ukrainian president, or that was basically like they were like having like that whole little like yelling match in the Oval Office. He's like, "Hey, motherfucker, nah, you need to chill. You're in America right now." And I'm like, "Oh damn, like that's my fault.
Crazy.
My fault, Trump."
Crazy. As far as that death penalty thing on the drug sales thing, I wonder on like what would call for the death penalty though. Like, is it you got to carry a certain amount of drugs on you or what? Because if that is the case, like the drug selling shit, drug dealing thing, like honestly, I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world because people could honestly, stop doing it. It might scare them from doing it.
Yeah.
From selling drugs, and I feel that's been a big epidemic problem in the country. We don't really hear about it too much. We only hear about fentanyl on our side, but you hear about like crack and fentanyl and like Percocets, or like just like the real hardcore shit on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Because that's where like a lot of people will do the harder drugs, as far as like heroin and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm like fully about the death penalty because I'm also like, God is really the one that gets to choose like if you die or not.
Yeah.
But you know that death penalty shit is
It-
like
it-
it could scare people for sure.
It is, and it's also it is crazy. But U.S. ain't the first people to do it. Lots of other countries actually have this in place. There's like a lot of I think the Philippines. I forget a lot of like the Southeast Asian countries actually have this installed. That's why it's real. Like when you travel out there, you really should be careful about doing stuff. I remember like there's a whole ass movie that was based on what happened to these like two girls. Like they get offered to backpack in I forget which country. I think it's like Thailand, and they get caught up. And since they got caught up with like backpacking drugs, they didn't know what they were doing, but they got the death penalty. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like if you're just a consumer or whatever, you know, that's your life, that's your choice. But like as far as like the people that are like pushing like on some El Chapo shit,
Some kilo shit.
then I feel like that is like a scary tactic to put on people. I still don't know if I don't think I really agree with, you know, it being enforced, but it's an interesting idea because, you know, like you mentioned, there's other countries that will put that shit down, you know. So it's just like what really is humanly moral or morally humane?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like you go to different countries and you get smacked with a different culture shock and shit, and like it's just crazy how different the whole like different parts of the world are.
Damn, imagine like getting fucking you getting clapped for just selling like a bag of weed.
No, that's crazy for sure right
Yeah.
there. Because there are some people, and also I think first offenses, you know, you get the slide. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when you're I think it's only when you're like a multiple, like you get caught up like multiple times type of thing. That's when it's just like you haven't learned your lesson. Which, by the way, I have a coworker, man, and this guy was telling me some crazy shit. I wish I could tell it on here. But I don't really want to be the one to put his business out. Although he said it's okay to tell me because, you know, the case is already done and everything. He's already been caught up and shit. He already did his time and everything. But there's like a wild ass story, man. I'm just like, damn, bro, you should be on a podcast telling this shit.
So he was in the game, but he got out of it.
Yeah, so pretty much like I'll kind of give an idea, but he told me there's like a lot of things he went in for, but like two of the main things you're gonna be familiar with are the 50% off thing, that shit, and then also
that shit Johnny be doing all the time.
Yeah, but the thing is, Johnny's not gonna be caught up. It's the person doing
the person actually doing.
Yeah, and then also what was the other thing? What is it? Money loitering?
Money laundering.
Yeah, some shit like that. Laundering. Yeah, it's like those are only two examples, but like all his backstory, man, is crazy, man. Maybe I'll ask him, be like, "You down to come up on here and tell this?"
He sounds like he's a hustler. For sure.
Pretty much, bro. Pretty much, like from the projects, all that shit.
I respect people when they're hustlers. I will say I may not agree with some of their methods about how to get money, but you know what? I respect that they're about their bread.
Yeah, man. It's because, you know, I'm not saying the scamming shit is right, but from what he was telling me, you know, he told me, and look, I don't know how truthful all this is. Is just going based off his word, but there's just a certain point where he just started like to actually start to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So he still kept his foot one in and one foot out, and he got caught up at that point of his you know. So it's just like, you know, it was just rough timing because he was like already trending towards like chilling on all of it.
Yeah,
but it's because this all has like a shelf life of scamming. You know, what goes up must come down. What's too good to be true, you know, it's too good to be true for a reason. And yeah, it's just interesting hearing that you know, these tactics and, you know, the real backstory of how it all works.
Yeah,
because we all see it online, all these scams. You know, people, you know, the text, you know, the fucking, oh, you try logging in here, blah blah blah. So really, you know, if you have your bank accounts linked up with Instagram, Facebook, all these, you know, websites, any website really, PayPal, all that shit, you can literally get caught up in the scam of just getting all your data collected. Because let's say, you know, for every million mass sent text, maybe 5 of them work. If you get lucky with that one person that's like a fucking million,
you just need one sucker.
That one millionaire, you fucking literally milk their whole bank account, bro. That shit's crazy. And you just got to hit on one highly successful person, but you can also hit on like 10 fools that have like $1,000 in their bank account, and you just made 10K in one day.
Imagine they'll get all these fools information, but then they see this fool's like broke as fuck, like this fool's like negative. I'm like, you can't even do nothing, so they just leave it alone.
Pretty much that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and
like it's not even worth the lick.
yeah. So it's crazy, you know, the hustle that goes on between all this shit. It's definitely interesting to hear. I feel like I think Vlad TV or one Vice. I think Vice. They do like they interview like these
Yeah,
drug dealers
it's
and all
Vice.
that. So it's like you kind of get backstories on some of these things, but I feel like there's still a missing stories or backstories on some of these other methods.
I will say though, so there's I forget which some random Instagram account I follow where like police are just like arresting people like from all over the country, and like there's this one where they're arresting like these the credit card skimmers guys because like this lady she got like a real time like fraudulent charge of like $2,000. So then she called the cops, and the cops just happened to be in the area, and they find the people like still going, and they catch them all, and these motherfuckers are just like they don't care. They're like they should have looked like thugs, but I'm like this guy literally had like 1,500 in cash. He just pulled it out.
Yeah, man, it's wild. So I will say, like, you know, at least at the very least with the well, I can't speak in guarantees, but I've been in situations where I got, you know, some fraud transactions, and I get reimbursed, you know.
Yeah, and then
So
that's the thing. Like that's why they don't care because like it's not their money. They're saying it is your money, but it's in the bank. So the
yeah,
bank will you just call the bank, and the bank will like we'll report the fraud. We'll give you the money back, and then boom.
yeah. The only downside, well, not the only. There's just a downside in this because eventually, if too many people are doing scams, then you know banks are gonna take fat ass L's, and banks are just gonna go out of business, and then there's gonna be no more of this type shit if it prolongs long enough. But you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, I mean, most of the time these people get caught anyway eventually. So, but yeah, I think that's the only reason why sometimes these people feel a little bit more better about doing people dirty. Essentially, is because they know they're gonna get the money back one way or another. It just sucks that it kind of like puts people in tough positions where, you know, maybe it's like a bad timing where they got to pay for certain things, and you know sometimes you don't get reimbursed right away. It takes like a week or something for them to make sure it's a scam.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just doesn't come back.
I remember one time years ago, like I seen like there was someone had used like my card like at a gas station, but in San Diego. And I remember specifically, I was on my way to pick up High Man, and he lives in Highland. And so I'm out here, and I called the bank immediately, like, hey, there's like $70 they're being used right now. I'm like, oh, so you haven't been in San Diego? They're grilling me. I'm like, no, I'm nowhere near in San Diego. I haven't been there in the years. And then they're giving me shit, but they ended up giving me my money, but they were just like, they had to make sure. And I was like, bro, like I'm not in that 619.
This, yeah, but I think I've only been scammed like maybe 3 times or something. Not scammed, but somehow someone hacked into my shit because I got charged on PayPal. I noticed when I had my bank account linked through it, and there were like two $500 Uber trips, which that kind of makes sense, bro. Because now I think about it, if both transactions were literally identical, this was telling me that people will open credit cards by getting other people's information, and they'll find ways to open their credit cards somehow, new credit cards under their name. And it makes sense because if they have like a certain credit limit, which are like the common ones are like 500 or 1,000 or, you know, 15,000, you know, 10,000. It's all in like the fives or the ones. So this card, they charged my ass like 500 both times, like, and they weren't the similar back-to-back transactions. This happened like different times, so it must have been the similar situation where it's like a 50% off thing, and my my PayPal info or whatever was attached to that, to where they were able to use my information to max it up and use and help other people out, because that's pretty much how that works. Is like they have other people's, you know, credit card information, and they're able to max it out. And that's why I don't know if you ever seen people be like, oh, tap in for these specific things. I got this, because they open either like what is it, gift cards or credit cards, and they try to bundle everyone up in like a certain time period, and then they close their shop, and then they start it again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. It's a whole backstory. It's like a lot of stories to this shit.
I just remember that shit happened to Alex fucking last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he got hit for a shit ton of money. Poor guy.
Yeah, and I don't think he ever got it back. He said.
No.
So sometimes you don't get it back, sometimes you do. But I don't know. I still feel like there's something he could do to get it back.
Yeah.
I think maybe he's just being a little hard headed.
Yeah, I'll ask him this Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, but speaking of which, man, it's almost your birthday.
It is.
I think if this releases tomorrow, it'll be on Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, my boy's birthday. So be sure to go ahead and comment "Happy Birthday, Migs."
Yes, sir.
Even if it's early, it's all right. He'll still accept that shit willingly.
Yeah, I forget. Kevin thought my birthday was on last past Saturday when I reposted that picture of Kitty had of me and Malik.
Yeah, it's always tough to remember everyone's birthdays.
It is.
That's why I just put everyone that I care for in my notes.
That's smart because I honestly I started doing that now because I would feel bad because I would know months, like I know which months people are in, and then I forget the days, and then people always get offended like, how you forget my birthday? I'm like, bro, it's very hard to remember everybody's birthdays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel when you get older, you just know more people. For the most part, and then like people had their kids, and then their kids, have their kids.
Yeah, so then you gotta put more important birthdays on the list.
Yeah,
and shit.
I think that's kind of one of the most unspoken things right now. Is like, there's too many birthday parties going around, and it's just so hard to go to every single one. And I used to feel a lot more guilty about this, but like either not going or either just not taking a gift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't really feel guilty anymore because I'm just like, bro, this is like just becoming unrealistic at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so like, how are you supposed to live life just buying people gifts all year long?
Yeah, I don't think it's been forever since I've like bought anyone a gift for their birthday.
Well, I have too big of a family. I think that's the problem with me.
Yeah.
Like I got hella cousins. I got hella cousins' kids. I got a goddaughter. I got our friends and their kids, and then and I got like uncles and aunts and my dad. And I got fucking stepmom. I got a step grandma, step grandpa. I got
I feel like at a certain point you just put the foot down. Like, hey, ain't no one getting presents, but you get my presents.
It's just been hard, bro. I feel like the only one I really focused on is Kitty, Aiden, and when I can, I definitely because it's also hard to really take my mom and my dad out because they just work too damn much.
Yeah.
And then I work in like the opposite schedule now, and so. But I definitely want to start making that a point now because now I'm making more money and I don't spend as much now. So I'm definitely for sure spoil the parents a lot more better because I feel like the last 2-3 years I've been slacking. But definitely when I was, freshly 18, 19, that's when I was making banco, bro.
No bills.
Fucking working the hardest.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and trend into some football news.
Yep.
Fortunately, depends how you look at it. Deebo Samuel got traded from the Niners. It's like bittersweet for me, only because there's like a decent amount of nostalgia for this guy because he played with us for both our recent Super Bowls, and he was my favorite player when he was a rookie.
Yeah, rookie contract Deebo was special, man.
Yeah, he was my favorite player. Like literally, like I'm very quick on these guys. So when we went to the Super Bowl, no one really thought about Deebo Samuel. It was Emmanuel Sanders. I always thought about Deebo Samuel though.
Deebo was clear, but that first Super Bowl run that show was nice because you guys had Deebo.
Yeah.
Kittle was cooking. Bosa, that was his rookie year, so everyone was going Bosa.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was a dope ass year, and Deebo was one that stood out to me the most though because he was always like doing all these crazy yards after catch plays.
Yeah, he's a big yak player.
And like for me, Emmanuel Sanders, like he was dope and shit, but he was kind of like he was past his prime already. So it was just like one flashy play every couple drives and shit. So he was definitely the tone setter in the locker room, at least as far as receivers go. And I feel that's what these guys needed because ever since he left, I feel Deebo was kind of living up to his talent for maybe 2 years, and then he got kind of like in his ego, and then after that was just like, oh, now he's just like showing signs of being a diva, and there's just like a lot of shit I didn't really agree with.
Yeah.
And so once your talent doesn't match up with your ego, it's like I start to lose like a lot of patience for you. And that's just what happened with him.
That's how I felt like, because he like all that drama that came when he was like wanting like his contract, and eventually he did get it paid, but he was actually he had requested a trade, like he was just like all this drama going around, and like it's just like, man, it's like it was not a good look for me personally. I hate when that shit happens with players because he like a lot more players like just keep it quiet.
Yeah, and he requested a trade earlier, like maybe a year or two ago. Didn't get it, but he got his fucking contract that he was crying for. Now that he got paid, he had an off year because he's too fucking hurt, too fucking fat.
Yeah.
And then now he gets traded, and now he's happy to be traded because he wanted it anyway. He's going with the Commanders though, which is a solid team. So I expect good things out of him. If he's hurt for a majority of the season, then I will feel even less worse about this trade. I'll
Yep.
feel actually great. I'll be like, look, this you got what you wanted. You got what you deserve.
I mean,
man.
I feel regardless, you guys won the trade only because, yeah, you guys won't. You guys still have solid players, and yeah, he was a dynamic player, but like, that's not to say you guys can't get another one, and you don't have to pay him 17 million. Like that's off your guys' cap space, so there's even more shit to pay other players.
Yeah, I definitely want to lock in like a Devontae Adams or maybe Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin. I think he's a free agent. I think so.
Oh yeah, that'd be fire to scary Terry in San Francisco.
Yeah, so like you said, there are definitely receivers out there, and especially if the rumors are true that we're looking to trade Brandon Ayuk as well, or like we're open to it.
Good riddance, man. I'm tired of his ass. I don't care how special you are, bro. I don't know, bro. Like I like when people like leave all this drama for bad taste, especially Brandon because he ended up accepting that offer, the initial offer that the Niners were giving him, but he wanted more, and eventually he did all that bitch and all that crying just to finally up realizing like, oh, this is the best situation for me and accept the offer.
Yeah, I think he was too influenced with the Debo situation.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, I don't know. He was definitely a good player, but he wasn't like A-list, A tier, you know. He wasn't like Justin Jefferson. He wasn't, you know, Jamar Chase. He was like the tier ranking right under. And you know, I to give him his credit, he did have a great year right before he got paid,
yeah.
but I still don't feel like he really deserved that contract. I think the Niners are just kind of loyal to their players, and it comes with negative backlash sometimes because they overpay players or they keep old players or injury prone players, and it just doesn't do good for the team. So
Where do you know where you guys picked in the draft?
I think 10 or 11.
Damn, there's some. I will. So I don't think you guys will go wide receiver round one, but if there is some solid route like top like X receivers at that position. Like there's that Tet. I can't even say his last. Oh, Tet McMillan guy from Arizona, Luther Burden from Missouri. Like there's one more too, but after that, everyone else is like a slot receiver that's like good.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna write off Ricky Pearsall and Kittle. We got Juwan Jennings still. We got Ayuk. I think we're kind of looking like the Green Bay Packers a little bit, except our X factor is Kittle.
Yeah.
Because as far as like receivers go, we got hella talent. It's just no one's really like that standout, you know. Because we've seen games where Ayuk was the receiver one when Debo was sit out, and he just doesn't really, draw off the defense like that. He could definitely burn some DBs. He got hands, but we need more distractions on the field as far as like, who's gonna be tugging the attention of the DBs or the defensive play calling. And I definitely think we're gonna bring in a already experienced receiver because that's usually what we do. We bring in experienced players, and hopefully this is our year, man. Because I don't really think we got too many left in us as far as like keeping our head coach there.
Damn, you guys have 11 picks in the draft.
Oh yeah, we always have a lot.
That's a lot, and then like there's some good picks too, bro. Like I think you guys can, y'all can make some moves, man.
Yeah, if we trade up 2 in the draft, that'll be dope. I think there's people saying we were gonna trade up for Travis Hunter, but I doubt it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Travis Hunter, he's a unicorn. He's an alien. He's a mutant. If it was 1-1, but I just don't think that's what the Niners need right now. I think that's you guys have other needs besides like receiver.
It's funny though you say that because we do need DB and receiver, and if we could fill in both, imagine.
would you? Yeah, because a lot of people, but because a lot of people are projecting him as DB with wide receiver packages because that's what makes the most sense. But I mean, I really would love to see a team like give him the chance to at least try out both sides, like full out.
Yeah. I wonder who really would though, because I think every head coach in the NFL would be too scared to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're spending a high ass draft pick on him, you're gonna be spending hella money, and for him to be playing both sides, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he is the outlier, and because even all the pros are kind of like warning him about this shit, letting him know it's a whole different game. Which is definitely true, man. Like the NFL is a whole different beast for sure.
Yeah.
Training is harder because I know. and then also
Playbooks are longer.
playbooks are longer, and the players are all better. Like
Yeah.
even on the worst teams, like they're still better than a lot of college teams. So competition is gonna be up there. But I'm really excited for the NFL. When's the draft? Like in June?
April.
April? Oh shit! Already coming up.
Yeah. The combine just finished. I like the more I'm like watching it, the more I'm praying to God that yeah, we need tight end, but there's this running back from North Carolina, Omari and Happen, who's the number 2 running back because Ashton Genty, he's gonna be gone long before pick 20. But I swear, if they pick him, I'm fucking cream myself. That fool is fucking. I seen his tape. I was like, give me this guy. I need a running back. We need running back, and he's so good.
Which one?
His name's Omari in Hampton. He plays for North Carolina. I was like, this was sick. And the dude from Ohio State, Travion Henderson, he's really good too. Like this was like, he's like those like do it all kind of backs where like you can have him in the backfield or you can line him up outside, and he's so good. But like I guess he just has to pass his medical, and if he does, he's like another solid round 1 wide receiver, running back.
I think running backs they have a history of being bust in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely. I don't know. I don't even know if Jenny's really going to be all that good. A lot of people are saying that he only did good because he had bad competition.
They will say though this year's draft is the year for running backs, tight ends, and interior defensive linemen. Like there's like a shit ton of them that are like really solid.
But this is like deeper in the rounds, right?
Yeah. So that's just the thing. The people are saying like this is a starter draft, not a star draft. So there's gonna be a couple and there's obviously gonna be the guys in the top 10. They're always just like they're blue chip collar guys. But the rest of them, they say like from pick 15 to the almost like pick 50 is almost like the same caliber of player.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because like I just saw right now like the Niners have a lot of picks in the middle round, so you guys could pick up some really solid key pieces because I know one of your guys' linemen retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys are gonna bring back Dre.
Greenlaw?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I know you guys need another corner and another safety just because what's his face Hufanga keeps getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, man, the Niners are good in the deeper rounds, but when it comes to first and second rounds, I feel like we always fucking miss on those picks. That's why I'm never excited for our draft.
I think the only one I was real upset about was that year they picked up Ayuk and the other dude. The dude that's with the Jets now? What's his face? The defensive lineman.
Oh, Solomon Thomas?
No.
Oh, Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, that one and the Trey Lance draft. Like, you know, in theory, yeah, I was most excited for Zach Wilson that year, and I still feel like on a good team he'll be all right. I think he just fucked his confidence up by being with the Jets.
Yeah,
you know?
they ruined
it. Does that to quarterbacks, man. And so I still think he was the most talented or whatever. But getting Trey Lance was like the next best thing in my eyes, at least. And just seeing how much of a bust it was, and there's a lot of reasons why this could have happened. You know, we truly will never know because he truly never got like that actual chance of like playing like a full season or anything like that. So who knows? But that draft was the most upsetting, I think, in hindsight, because you go back and see all the other players drafted that year, and it's just like, fuck, man, the people we missed out on. And it seems like that happens more often than not with this fucking. I don't know if it's our head coach making these draft picks. I'm pretty sure it is. But because there's always like. Because I'm really into the know on like the back office or front office for the for the Niners, and there's always this debate: is it John Lynch or is it Kyle Shanahan making these draft picks?
I think it's Kyle.
But that's the thing though, is there's evidence for both sides, so it's hard to really tell.
That's how you know when you're a true fandom of like I guess really any professional sports team is when you start actually like caring about the little weeds of what's going on. Like you start caring about like, all right, who these fools are actually gonna pick up. Like you start, you're literally always following with like news up to date what's going on.
Yeah, man. And then when things actually fall into fruition, and like so this Debo shit, we always knew he wanted out, even though they try to feed you the bullshit that like on both sides, like, oh yeah, we really want him here, and on Debo's side, he's like, oh yeah, I really want to be here, but we know it's bullshit because like this type of shit happens where it's like 1 year it's good and the next year it's bad, and it's like the year where there's hella conflict. And then now he's finally getting what he really wanted, which is to get out of the team.
Yeah.
And so the writing is always on the walls. It's just the front office kind of makes things blurry by feeding you all the bullshit.
Yeah. I think we're gonna release Cortland Sutton this year too, because So I don't get me wrong. He's actually performed like solid the last 2 years, but his contract is up with no guaranteed money, and you think he's gonna want in the range from like 12 to 15 mil, which is like a little high for his age, but like it's like a solid track, and it's not even like top receiver money, but that's kind of like the range we want. And the way just Sean Payton runs his offenses, I guess he did in New Orleans too. Like they'll pay one wide receiver, and that's it. Like everyone else is gonna be kind of like on the wayside. Like and with the Saints, it was Michael Thomas and everyone else got like pity contracts. And right now, they're leaning more towards like they're gonna try to lean more towards like a run style offense. But which is why I hope they fucking get a running back this draft. But
Well, who's your other receiver though?
Marvin Mims, and he's still on a rookie contract. Troy Franklin, who I'm honestly I'm up in the air. I think he's whatever's, but
Well, who's gonna get paid? Like you said, that one receiver will get paid.
that depends. Like I think hopefully it's Marvin, but I don't know. But like literally besides Cortland, all the other receivers are under like rookie contracts, so they don't have to worry about paying anybody right now.
Crazy.
And I've heard reports basically saying like they're gonna give him an offer like, hey, which is and I guess some like lowball offer like this, if you want to be on the team, it's gonna be for this much.
It's like a 2-year, 8 mil, 10 mil.
Less, bro, like less.
Less?
Like,
Oh, that's disrespectful.
it's almost like vet men shit. And if he doesn't want it, then they're okay with letting him leave. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But I get it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fuck it. Tim Patrick went to the fucking Lions and they made it pretty deep.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt Cortland Sutton comes to the Niners because it seems like the Niners pick a lot from Broncos, Commanders, and the Commanders, and there's another team. But yeah, with the Bucks, no, I don't know. But it's all due to connections and shit.
I watched DJ Jones go back to the Niners.
I wouldn't doubt it.
His contract is up. So obviously, he got drafted when Bob Salah was still at DC.
They were talking about going for Buckner again.
That'd be fire.
Yeah,
that'd be so fire.
Yeah, because and also what's his face, Joey Bosa.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because supposedly he's gonna get released.
Yeah, they don't have enough money to pay him over there.
Yeah, so I guess if it comes with releasing Debo, yeah, we do get more money or open up more cap space. We already have a decent amount, so the more the better. We're gonna rebuild a little bit and hopefully make it deep, and then hopefully you guys too, because I did like what I saw with Bo Nix.
I did too,
and seems pretty promising. Take us to the promised land, Niners Broncos Super Bowl. Call that shit right now.
Yeah, just don't whoop our ass like you did in the 90s. Bro, I saw the score of that shit. Like, y'all fucking clapped us. I was like, that's sad as shit.
Bro, it's crazy how bad we used to clap people in the Super Bowl.
It was crazy, bro.
Yeah, but I think we'll go ahead and close this one out. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.